everyone, my name is Misty Fiello. In 2015, I had a pacemaker implanted for complete heart block. I have since lost about 40 pounds, run 4 half marathons with a personal best time of 2 hours and 15 minutes. I am currently training for a marathon, and then hopefully I'd like to run a sub 2 hour half marathon. Today I'd like to share with you a grocery haul that I did at my neighborhood Walmart for my family for the week so that I can show you all of the foods that I buy for me and my family to help keep me on track with my marathon training and maintaining a healthy weight loss while also providing nutritious meals that my family loves. Let's get into it. When I grocery shop, I like to take the shop the perimeter approach. This is recommended by the American Heart Association, by the Mayo Clinic. It is just a good way to start your grocery shopping trip. I stock up on all the fresh fruits and vegetables that my family loves, whatever looks good, whatever's in season, or anything that I might need for the meal plan that I have for the week. My kids are going back to school this week, so I got a lot of stuff that would be really good to add to a lunchbox. Both the American Heart Association and the Mayo Clinic consider frozen fruits and vegetables as also part of shopping the perimeter, and it's just super convenient to have a vegetable in the freezer to add to a meal if I don't have anything fresh on hand. From the produce section, I moved on to the meat, dairy, egg, lunch meat section. I did pick up some cold brew, which I guess is technically on the perimeter, but that's really just kind of for a treat in the morning. I picked up 2 whole chickens, one to freeze and one to make into some chicken noodle soup. Later in the week, I picked up some bacon for breakfast. I picked up some turkey sausage to make some kind of healthier version of Hoppin' John. I picked up some sausage and some lean ground beef to make into spaghetti, a big batch of spaghetti later in the week. I picked up some lunch meat and some American cheese. My kids are going back to school, and I thought that would be good to make into sandwiches. I also picked up some imperial margarine. The swaps on the American cheese and the margarine is something new for me. I used to kind of be a snob when it came to cheese, although my family really doesn't eat a lot of cheese. And I used to only get butter. But the American cheese and the butter really, they don't seem as unhealthy as they were when we grew up in the 80s. If you look at that imperial margarine, it says that it has 0 grams of trans fat in it. And it only has 60 calories as opposed to 100 calories for butter. The same with the American cheese. I think that's not even the healthiest option I could have gotten in the store. It was just inexpensive because it was the Great Value brand. That American cheese is 50 calories a slice, and it still has a good amount of protein and kind of a lower amount of fat. So when you're trying to maintain a caloric deficit, or maintain a calorie count that is going to help you maintain your weight or help you lose weight, swapping out things like margarine for butter or some lower calorie American cheese for some higher fat, higher calorie options may be a good choice, even though maybe technically butter and different cheeses are considered healthier. You really just have to do your research and decide what you think the healthier option is. If you are overweight or trying desperately to maintain a healthy weight, and making these kind of swaps help you maintain a caloric deficit or help you eat at a calorie count that maintains a healthy weight, they may be a good swap for you. I also picked up some eggs. I know it looks like a lot of eggs. I have 2 cartons of the 18 count extra large and 1 carton of just a dozen of the happy eggs. And my family just got back from vacation, and so my fridge was pretty depleted, and I was restocking, and plus I have two teenage boys, or 2 preteen, almost teenage boys. My husband's very active. I'm marathon training. We eat a ton of eggs. I know these are not the least expensive options for eggs, but they are still pretty affordable. To me, all eggs are not created equal. I really like the Eggland's Best and the Happy Eggs. But the grocery store brand is just fine. I'll buy them sometimes too. But this time I just felt like spending a little extra for the eggs that I think are a little tastier and possibly a little more nutritious. I know typically you'll hear people say that all eggs have the same nutrition, and I don't know how that could possibly be the case. I would think that it would depend on what the chicken is fed more than anything else. And plus, the yolks are so orange in those two brands of eggs. To me, it just seems like they have to be healthier, but maybe that's just all in my head. I also picked up some almond milk. I like to have it in my coffee and in my overnight oats. It's about 30 calories for a cup, so it's a really good option when you're trying not to add a lot of calories to your food. I know then you can see that clearly I picked up whole milk. My calorie needs and my son's calorie needs are very different. They are very active. As a matter of fact, I have one son who has a little bit of trouble not being underweight, so I feel like they need the whole milk, but my husband and I aren't really drinking it. They have different needs than we have, so we get them the whole milk. Then I left the perimeter to round out the meals that I was going to make for the week. I picked up some egg noodles like I said earlier with the chicken, I'm going to make some chicken noodle soup sometime this week, and I picked up egg noodles for that. I know this just absolutely looks like a ton of food for the week for us. Chicken noodle soup, Hoppin' John, a big giant batch of spaghetti, all for a family of 4. I have this motto that helps me stay sane while marathon training and working full time with 2 little very active boys themselves. I always cook once and eat at least twice, sometimes even 3 times. So everything I am making is going to make at least 2 dinners, probably 2 dinners and a lunch for me and my husband, and then maybe even a couple of meals that I can pop in the freezer for a lunch or an easy dinner on a different night. It's just a good trick that's helping me stay sane while building an aerobic base for marathon training. I picked up some microwave popcorn for just regular, like movie theater butter or the regular Orville Redenbacher for my sons. And then I picked up the Smart Pop for me and my husband. The Smart Pop is 15 calories per cup. Be careful, that's not 15 calories per serving, but it is still a really healthy choice. You just get a ton of popcorn for like 240 calories, I think that whole bag is. It's a really good option when you need a snack that's low in calories. I also picked up some tortellini when I make the spaghetti sauce later in the week. I'm going to use that tortellini instead of regular pasta just for a treat because it is my oldest son's favorite. And sometimes I just like to get something special for them, especially since their summer's coming to an end and they're about to go back to school and he's a little bummed about it. I picked up some black-eyed peas to make that Hoppin' John that I talked about earlier with the turkey sausage that I showed in the earlier part of the video. I also picked up some Better Than bouillon that I'm going to add to the Hoppin' John, and I will also add that to my chicken noodle soup. It's pretty good. I prefer the carton stock, but it's kind of an expensive way to add stock flavor to your dishes, so I just picked up this Better Than bouillon this time. I also picked up this Great Value marinara. This is a pretty good choice. It doesn't have any added sugar, so if you're trying not to add sugar to your pasta sauce, that's a good option. I think it does use canola oil instead of olive oil or avocado oil, but it's a pretty good swap because it's like $1.40, and a sauce like Rayo's that uses olive oil is a lot more expensive. I also picked up this bunny bread. The American Heart Association and the Mayo Clinic do consider whole wheat bread options as shopping the perimeter. I don't think they would feel the same way about white bread. I, however, sometimes I think it's fine to indulge in white bread. I think whole wheat options are typically considered healthier. They have a little bit more protein, possibly a little bit more fiber, but I'm going to use this to pack sandwiches for my boys. I'm going to probably make some French toast out of it, which means that I'm going to add some protein with the eggs or protein with the lunch meat. I'm going to put fresh fruits and vegetables on the side. So I think I will make up for the fact that it maybe has a little tiny bit less protein and fiber. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy a little bunny bread. I mean, life has to have a little joy. I do like whole wheat bread, but I also really sometimes like bunny bread. And my kids really like it, and it gets them to eat their sandwich at lunch. So we just pick our battles. Life's too short. Every great once in a while, eat the dang bunny bread. I also picked up a couple of treats. Obviously, Diet Dr. Pepper is not a healthy option. It is, however, something that satisfies a craving for something sweet, but helps me maintain a healthy weight. Yeah, I have a little bit of Diet Dr. Pepper sometimes. I also picked up some like little Kool-Aid pouches to pack in my boys' lunches. Also, not the healthiest option. They do have sugar. I think they're like 20 calories a pouch. So they can't have an absolute boatload of sugar for one pouch. And it's like a little treat that I get to add to their lunch that will otherwise be a pretty healthy lunch with the popcorn I'll pack and the sandwich that I'll pack and the fruits and vegetables that I'll pack. I'm going to put a little Kool-Aid treat in the lunchbox. It's all about balance, right? You got to have a little bit of joy in your life. So I picked up some Diet Dr. Pepper and some Kool-Aid. Those kind of little things can really help you stay on track. Plus, as I said earlier in the video, my boys are very active, and I think it is okay for them to have a little Kool-Aid jammer in their lunch. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until the next one, keep moving and remember how lucky you are.